Hey there, Sean Webb here, and I want to thank you for purchasing my putting mirror. Now, this short video, I'm going to give you best practices on how to use it most efficiently to get the most out of it so you can improve your putting, lower your scores so you can have more fun. Now, first, when you get it, take it out of the package. It's going to have a black bag that you can carry, like a carrying case, to keep it from getting scratched when you store it in your bag. But the thing that you need to pay attention to when you first get it, it's going to come with a clear plastic film on top of it. I've already peeled this one off because this is my personal one, but you would use your fingernail to kind of get under it a little, and that will peel off the top of it. That's a protective layer for shipping, and you don't need that on it to use it. So go ahead and peel that off first so you can get a nice clear shine here in the mirror so you can see yourself when you look down at it. Now, I designed this thing a little differently than some of the other ones you may have seen. I put a lot of T-holes in it, and you're going to see in a minute why I did that, but those are going to correspond to your stroke or your putting stroke. If you have a tendency to take the putter, I'll use it here. If you have a tendency to take the putter on a path that's either outside in or inside out, or you have an issue with hitting the sweet spot, these tees are going to help you do that. So let's just start with the sweet spot tees here. The ball would go here. You'd put the putter in between these tee holes, and depending on the size of your putter, I'll show you in a minute, you would put tees just outside the putter so you can practice getting the putter to go between those tees, ensuring that you'll hit the sweet spot, which is one of the main keys to solid putting, is hitting the sweet spot every time. The other tee holes are designed, if you took it, like I said, outside in or inside on the backswing, or even the follow through, they would block you. So you can put the tees where you need them according to what stroke issues that you have. So let's go ahead and put it on the ground, and I'll show you kind of in action. So I'll put it back here. I'll set it up here so that I'm putting towards the camera, and I've got the ball. It has a little notch here. I designed it so the ball stays in the same place every time. But what you're trying to do, I'll move it up here a little bit more so we can see it. What you're trying to do is get your eyes, first of all, on top of it. So once you look down, you should see your eyes either on top of the black line or just inside the middle black line here. This line right here. So this is the line you want to pay attention to. Your eyes should be either on this or just inside of it. So let me go ahead and do that. And one of the keys to achieving that as you're setting up to hit your putts is to make sure that you hinge from your hips. And what that means is a little bit of knee flex, bend forward from your hips. When you do that, you can start to see your eyes down there where they should be. You don't want to be too far outside on the outside lines, and you wouldn't want to have it so you can't see them, because that can cause some alignment issues and even some stroke issues. So go ahead and get your hip hinge, a little bit of knee flex, set up over the ball. Now, first thing I would do if I was practicing with it, I would take my putter, figure out how big the putter is, and then put the tees in the corresponding holes that are closest to the size of your putter. Now, depending on your skill level, you can go wider. So I have 3 different sets of tee holes, depending on your skill level and or if you have a bigger or smaller putter. So that's the first drill. So let me see if I can do that. So I would put the ball in the notch so it's centered up, get my eyes over the line, try to get my knees, hips, and shoulders and eyes square, try not to get turned one way or the other, and then try to see if you can make a stroke going through the tees. And if you did that, you'll hit the sweet spot. So that would be kind of drill number 1. Now, as you make your strokes, if you notice your putter goes outside on the takeaway or too far inside, you want just a very straightish stroke or even a tiny arc in. So what I would do, let's say you take the putter outside, you can put the tees in a line that would block that stroke. So what I would do is grab another ball, go ahead and put it here in the notch. Make sure you've got your mirror aligned to the hole. Pick a straight putt at first, makes it a little bit easier. And then see if you can make a stroke. If you've been going outside, these tees are going to let you know. So I'm going to try to make a stroke and miss them all. If you start missing all the tees, you're starting to make a pretty good stroke. If I made a bad stroke, you'd have feedback. And feedback is what allows you to improve. Without feedback, you're practicing, but you're not really going to change anything or improve because you don't know what you're doing wrong. So this allows you to help you learn the issues in your stroke so you can fix them. Now, the other thing I did here, I designed this chute here to be a little bit narrow. So if you hit this putt offline at all, or you have the face rotated left or right, your ball, let me pull this up here so you can see it. If you have the face rotated left or right, this way or this way, the ball will actually hit the side of this rail, and you'll notice it'll ricochet a little or bump into that. So you'll notice that you were offline. So in order to get this thing to roll straight, your putter has to be, when it makes contact, in line with this dotted line. So the leading edge of your putter would be in line with that dotted line. When you make contact, that would ensure you go straight down the rails. So let me put it down here. If you were just working on that, you could just work on it without tees and just make sure that when you hit the putt, you get it to roll straight through the gate. Now, if that's too easy for you, you can take tees and put it just in front of the mirror, a little bit closer together. Now, I can't drive these in the ground because I'm indoors today. It's raining out. But let's say, let me break them off so I can show you. You can drive them in the ground so that you can just barely get a ball through them. So I'll just set them on the ground here like this. So if I did that, that's just wide enough to get the ball through. So it adds another level of difficulty to your putting. So let me see if I can get them through here. My good setup. Oh, I pulled that one. I see right away. I knocked that tee out of the way. So I know that my putter face was a little bit closer. That, again, that adds a little bit of level of difficulty. So all I did, I put a tee here and drove it in the ground and made it a slightly more narrow than this. You can see my fingers would be a little more narrow than the hole. So I'm trying to get the ball to go out through this chute right here, which would indicate that I had the putter square when I hit it. So last but not least, the other thing you can do with this, you can check your shoulder alignment. So once you get over the ball, you can lean in till you see your shoulders. So I have to lean in quite a way just because of my distance from the ball. But I see my shoulders are a little bit open, so I can square them up and then go back to my normal setup so I know what that feels like. So lean in, check your shoulder alignment, go back to your normal setup, make your stroke. So again, that's some basic ways to use this. A lot of my students have had a lot of success improving their stroke. So go ahead and try some of these drills. Work on your setup. You can see your eyes. Work on your stroke. Work on your face angle. I know you're going to see improvement. Thanks again for being a customer. We'll see you soon.